Hey everyone, and welcome to the 92nd episode of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today we're talking about Keanu Reeves and children with cell phones and possibly another topic, but we'll see how much time we have. Today, I am here with Shayne.
I'm back.
Jordan.
Hello.
And Josh.
Hello there.
And as always, you can check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play. Did I say Google Play?
Yes.
Google Play. Whoa! Everywhere you could possibly think of to listen to podcasts, we're there, so you have no reason not to listen to us other than the fact that you don't support us. And if you don't support us, that makes us kind of sad.
Aww.
But if you do support us and you really, really want to help us out, go to the iTunes app, search We're All in the Same Boat, scroll all the way to the bottom and hit 5 stars. That would be awesome. Also follow our Instagram at WAITSB Podcast. Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. How are you guys doing?
Fabulous.
Doing great. I just want to say, right before we started recording this podcast, we were talking about which episode this was, and we're like, oh, it's the 92nd episode. And then Luke said, I struggle with doing this intro. And then I thought, wow, 92 episodes in, and you're still struggling with this intro.
Oh my gosh. Why?
I mean, I sort of change it up a little bit every once in a while, so it kind of makes it hard to keep track of. It's not like it's the same thing every time, so whatever, Shane.
That's true.
It's funny. I think it's entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
Character. And everybody likes character. So, gentlemen, have any of you guys been watching E3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell us about it.
no
It's
idea.
not as cringy as last year, I heard, which is really disappointing for me. That's my favorite
There's no
part.
Kingdom Hearts 3, so I totally forgot about
that
it.
is tragic. There's actually some great games coming out. Everything from some massive cyberpunk games from CD Projekt Red, which made the Witcher series. So that's finally coming in 2020.
Was that
Looks
highly
amazing.
anticipated?
It's stupid anticipated. It's
Because I didn't know anything about it until John, someone who used to be on this podcast, posted a meme of it, and it was it was a picture of this knight, and he was opening up the drawbridge, and he's like, pre-order all the games, and then the other knight is like, hey, no, don't pre-order any games because that's ruining the industry, because when people pre-order, they get garbage games and it's not a good idea. And then all of a sudden it shows him putting the gate back up and he's like, no pre-ordering games. And then it comes back to the other guy and he goes, oh no, Cyberpunk 2077 is on pre-sale. And then it cuts back to the other guy and he goes, pre-order a little.
man.
I don't know anything about this game though at all, but I know that's the big one. I think Halo's coming out with something new. Gears of
5.
War is coming out with something
6.
new.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else other than that. I know we're going to talk about the Cyberpunk thing a little bit, but other than Cyberpunk, did anything of note happen in E3?
Microsoft
actually,
announced their new Xbox, I think.
That's
A
true.
new Xbox?
Yeah.
Cloud-based.
You sounded really sad. You're like, yeah.
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 Is it bad?
No, not at all.
What's
No,
it
it
called?
sounds.
Xbox 2.
Project.
No, it does not
Project.
start Project, does it?
No. It's just what it's codenamed right now. They haven't given it a.
Yeah, I don't think they have a name for it yet.
Yeah, but I can't remember the project name. That being said, it's talking 4K support at 120 frames a second video. You're looking at
crap.
extraordinarily fast load times. You're talking seconds. You click a button, it loads.
You can tell that video games are getting to a certain point where they're running out of things to, I remember back when Call of Duty was coming out, they were like, guys, we spent all this work to make the hands look real. And you're like,
Yep.
and
Gun textures are amazing.
Yeah. And so now it's like, yeah, but it's the same, but now it loads faster.
Ray tracing's huge.
Ooh.
Google's system is actually probably the bigger announcement. Google's getting into the gaming market, and it's not.
Of course.
Yeah,
they
it's not a
should.
crummy, stupid little thing. It's a cloud-based system, so it's Netflix for video games.
It's all going to be free, and they're just going to gather all of your information, everything about
$15
you.
a month, but yeah, it's basically free. So what they'll do is you can be able to stream games at 1080p plus. I think they're even going up to 4K here eventually. You can play all the major titles across your phone, across your television, computer, just with the account. So you can pick up from, let's say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, They're doing a mission to assassinate a dude because it's called Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, really. It's like, that's pretty much all you need for those games to be an Assassin's Creed game. It's like, does someone have a hood? Is someone getting assassinated? Yeah, it's part of it's Assassin's Creed now.
You know?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that? I mean, here's the thing about all this stuff. I'm not really a gamer. I just know that this is the way it is.
Yep. So man, just pause it. You know, you got to take a break. You know, go to the bathroom for a little bit, pop it up on your phone, come back to your PC. It's all good.
It's like you have less excuses to stop playing now. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's
You're not
taking the Switch sort of route, I guess.
I think they're making another Switch console in the next coming months, so it's going to be more powerful. Oh, The Witcher's coming on Switch, which is... I don't know how that's going to happen.
What?
Witcher 3.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh my gosh.
I'm super skeptical of that.
The Witcher is going everywhere. The Witcher is
sure.
coming to Switch. The Witcher is coming to Netflix. Do you guys know about that?
That's true, yeah. That's true.
Are they really making a Netflix series about that?
Dude, it's in production.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Really?
It's like Henry Cavill is the Witcher guy.
Okay, he'll do a better job than the voice actor they got to voice the Witcher in the actual
Oh
games.
my gosh, dude, he's so terrible.
This is the most boring thing ever. Geralt,
he
literally
not
every
good?
line is,
Buy beer.
I don't know, where are we going to go to have this weird thing that we're going to go do? And my backstory is not explained at all. Like, come on, dude. Show some emotion here. Okay, fine. I'm the male Kristen Stewart.
I don't know anything about The Witcher except that it's huge and everyone loves it.
Yeah,
You'll play a
it
person
is.
who kills magical creatures for money.
Original story ideas.
Sounds fantastic.
And he's got like 2 hot girlfriends too that you end up choosing which one you want. Which if you try to choose,
early.
if you
Is
try
that
to
why the
choose,
game?
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, is that why the game is popular?
Probably.
Yeah,
Well, it's really
that's
funny
one reason.
because you can try to choose both, and if you do, they like strap you to the bed and leave you naked there. It's really funny. They're like, "Screw you!" Walk out the door. He's like, "Okay, ladies, come on back, ladies."
In his very boring voice.
Yes.
So E3 happened, and like I said, over the last couple of years, E3 has been the king of awkward conferences. Just because I think the biggest part about it, the part that makes it the worst, is the crowd is just horrible. Because it's all gamers, they're all video game people, and so they're like, I don't want to cheer. Do I have to clap? I don't feel like clapping. And everyone thinks at the exact same time, and so no one claps. And it just throws everything off. And so all the people announcing the games are like super nervous because nobody clapped when they walked on stage. They feel awkward. It's a
Gamers
show.
aren't impressed easily, though. That is a huge part of it, too. It's like, I've seen this. You're doing nothing different than last year, other than we're going to extend our Game Pass to now include more games. Like, oh, okay.
They're like, it's pay to win. And all the gamers are like,
Loot
no.
boxes! It's like, get out of here.
But yeah, so this one wasn't as awkward. But apparently, they did get one person that everybody loved as an announcer. That's very uncommon. Most of the times with these shows, everyone hates the announcers.
That's true.
So to announce Cyberpunk 2077, they got the person who's doing the voice of the main character and also looks like the main character, Keanu Reeves.
Woo!
And he's like a legend now. Everyone loves him because of this.
It was a great move on their part to grab him and do that. He fits that role
whole
perfectly.
career, and people just like him because he's playing this character.
Well, actually, I mean, it's like this got people looking him up again. And then they noticed
John
all
Wick
the
did.
interesting stuff that he's been doing over the years. So like I have a whole bunch of things written down for why people are kind of losing their minds over him. But I guess
Yeah, that makes sense.
he walked on stage and like he had this like really giddy. Did you guys see the video? Actually, before I keep going,
I have
Shane,
not.
you didn't see. Wait, Jordan, did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. So I'm not alone. Yeah, he like walks on stage and he's kind of acting like a little kid. Like he's like really giddy, like, this is so cool, you know? And then so he walks out there.
This is my job.
And
wait a
then
minute.
he's like, just starts to talk, and he's like, oh, man, okay. So, and right as he's about to talk, somebody off stage, because like I said, programmers, they're weird, programmers and gamers, and he just shouts on the stage, "You're breathtaking!" And then Keanu Reeves just kind of kind of turns and looks at him and goes, "You're breathtaking," and the crowd just goes nuts.
He had this nice prepared speech. He's like, "Okay, guys, you got to stop and let me do this."
Yeah, didn't he actually say that in the actual?
He did.
He's like, "Okay, hold up, I gotta get through this."
You're all breathtaking. You're all breathtaking. Okay, guys, you got to stop. They're all cheering, going crazy.
But I was looking into it and trying to figure out because everyone's like, "I love Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is my favorite. Everybody loves Keanu Reeves. He's the coolest guy ever." And it's like, okay, so he's John Wick. He's the Matrix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he is Speed.
Yep.
And then he's in some other movie.
He's going to be in Toy
he was
Story
Constantine.
4.
Oh, yeah, Constantine. Yeah. What
Toy
else?
Story 4 was one of the villains.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
He's
dude.
in Toy Story 4, yeah.
Okay.
He was in...
He was in some...
Dracula.
Wasn't it Wayne's World? Is that the one he's in?
That you're thinking of...
I always mix them up. Oh,
Wayne's World.
He was really good in Her. I don't know if anyone saw that movie.
He was in
It
Her?
was really good.
I didn't
Yeah.
know he was in that movie. Okay.
Bill
no,
and
what
Ted's
was that
Excellent
movie?
Adventure.
Bill and Ted.
Ted's
Yeah, I
Excellent
always
Adventure.
mix those two up because I can't think
Radical,
of which ones.
dude. Love each other.
It's so funny because he plays like this skateboarding, like cool, like, yeah, man, guy in that movie.
A little bit dopey.
Yeah. So he played all these like movie parts, but he's one of those people that behind the scenes people seem to really like. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out like why do people like him so much, and then why do people dislike other actors, and like what about him makes him likable versus the other ones?
And what'd you find?
Well, so the first thing I was trying to like note or like looking into was I guess he's got kind of a sad past. Like his dad left when he was a kid.
Yep.
He struggled in school. You know, he had friends that died. His daughter, I guess, was a miscarriage or something. And then he spent like a lot of his money from the Matrix to help with leukemia because his sister had leukemia. Like all these little things, and it's like, okay, fine, that sounds not abnormal for people that do great things. Like a lot of them have tough stuff that they went through. But there's something about him that just seems genuine. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out what it is. But like before we get into that, I wanted to start by thinking about different actors and actresses that we know that are not genuine. Like, what is it that we don't like about them? And a lot of it's in the body language. And I thought, well, what better person to talk about than Brie Larson?
Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna smack her.
But what is it? Why do people not like her? What is it about her, other than the things she says?
Want the list?
It's not what she says. I think, for me, it's just... It's her personality. I think she just comes across very, like, I don't really care what you have to say. I know this is my opinion, and I know I'm right, and that's just how it is. Mm-hmm. And I always get that from her, like, with her co-stars, with interviewers. Like, she always wants to be right, and she always feels like she is right. And if someone doesn't agree with her, she kind of, not necessarily will argue back, but it's like she only sees her way.
She's
it's almost like high school girl, like the popular pretentious one.
It's almost like she's on edge.
Yes.
Yeah, like she's waiting for someone to say something wrong to her so she can rebuttal back with whatever comment she has.
Yeah, and it's like she'll say things like I've seen this with a lot of actors. A lot of people from Hollywood do this, and I don't know if it's something that I think I'm a pretty conscientious person, and I notice something about the way I notice it on talk shows, like the late night shows, a lot, where it seems rehearsed what they're saying, which it is, but there's something about their charmingness, quote unquote, that seems off. It seems like they're faking it, and it makes me not trust them. Am I the only one that feels that way?
Absolutely not.
And
No, yeah, we're with you.
I'm trying to figure out how to dissect what it is, because I was thinking about it, and I'm trying to think of another example besides Brie Larson, because she's so.
Well, I think you already hit on it, is that it's the scripted nature of everything, right? Like everything that they say and do is scripted, that can come across like this isn't genuine. Like, you've sat down with your people and like interviews people, and you've scripted out what you're going to say and how you're going to react and stuff like that. And it just is like,
But it's also like, I notice they seem on edge. Like, they're watching what the crowd is doing. They're thinking about, how is this going to look on the camera? They're not actually reacting honestly. Yeah. It's
a lot
acting.
of actors, as an actor, a lot of actors don't really enjoy being in front of people, and a lot of them don't like that part of the job, like doing interviews and doing press and all that stuff. So I think, they just might not want to be there at that time, but they're just having to do their job, because that's what it is, the job. And I don't know. I think that's because I always think that people are being genuine, even when it is kind of scripted. I just think, oh, well, that's how you want to present yourself, and I have no reason not to believe you until you give me a reason not to believe you. Then I just kind of like to believe everyone.
Well, there's a facade to that, though. Like, you're not gonna. It's an instinct thing, right? The way someone's acting when they're scripted is not the genuine self, and so you're looking at them going, "You're off. What's off about you? What's dangerous about you?"
Right.
At least in my head.
I've never
it's
thought
like
about
seeing
it that
a
way.
mask. It's like the uncanny valley in a way. That's maybe a little more extreme than I want to go, but how do I explain this? Like, when they're talking, it's almost like in the movies when you see the rich business people that are the villains, but then they're all talking to people and be like, "Oh yeah, hello, how are you? And how are you? And good to see you. And tell me about your life." And
how you doing?
And that's sort of like, you're not real. You're not really asking them. You're just playing the part, like the mayor type thing. And I get that feeling about most actors and actresses. Like, they're playing the part to they're like, how can I look charming right now? How can I look charming? As opposed to
they have images that they have to.
I know, but that makes it
fair.
seem disingenuous, and it makes me feel like, I don't like this person.
Okay.
They seem
Is this
like
the internet age, though?
You have to remember what context do you mean, like, you don't like this person? Like, you're saying, I feel like I can't trust you, because I look at it as, say, like Scarlett Johansson, for instance. That's Scarlett Johansson to me. In her everyday life, she's just Scarlett, ScarJo. I don't know what her friends call her. And, she's probably to some degree, a different way, and acts a different way when she's not at work being Scarlett Johansson, or being, it applies to musicians too. Like, how it must feel to be Beyonce, and, every waking person wants to know what you eat for breakfast and know what you wore to bed that night. And, no one is being genuine with you. So how do you kind of really give that genuineness back?
It's the same way you'd see something like Chris Hemsworth, or you'd see guy who plays Paul Rudd, or Keanu. They're just themselves. Will Smith. I mean, they're just themselves.
No, I don't think Will Smith seems genuine. If you've ever seen him interviewed,
I think Will Smith is a glorified genuine. Like, he just plays up on
that
the
I will
parts
agree
that
with.
people really like about him.
he just seems like, I don't know how to explain it. It's
YouTube
almost
channel.
like so many actors do it. It's hard to see because you're so used to seeing it. And that's what I wanted to walk into with Keanu, because he doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, dude, he's so generous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, some people
what were you
just
about to
don't
say,
give a
Josh?
fuck.
well, I was going to say I think the reason that it's hard to describe is that it's a gut level thing where you just,
Yeah, it
where
really is.
Well, because an actress that comes to mind that comes across as super genuine to me is Emilia Clarke. Like, you watch her in her interviews, and it's like, you are a very bubbly, like, laugh out loud kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But then I go and I listen to somebody, and Jordan, you and I talked about this a couple months ago. Kevin Hart went on to Joe Rogan, and I made this point. I said, I wonder if we're going to see a different Kevin Hart than we see, like, literally everywhere else, because he's doing NBA TV shows and stuff like that, and he has to be Kevin Hart. He has to be big and loud, and I'm a small man, and I have to be funny. And he went on Joe Rogan, and it was like, oh, you're thoughtful. You have, like, you're still funny, but you're not this spazzy, pizzazzy kind of person 24/7. And it was like, see, that was a genuine Kevin Hart 2.5 hour long interview that was different from your stage persona. right?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And he seemed most people seem pretty genuine on Rogan's show. And I think it's just because they do whatever they can to make it seem as genuine as possible.
Right.
It is, like you said, a gut level thing. I've been thinking a lot about when I don't like people or when something doesn't, I don't know. It's almost like if someone asks you how you're doing on the surface level, you're like, well, that's nice. They asked me how I was doing. That was nice of them. But sometimes there's people who ask it and you can just feel in your gut that they're asking it because they want you to put the spotlight on them.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and I can feel it sometimes. Now, I'm not always right about this. You know, I try to be careful not to jump to conclusions. But it'd be like if I was like, hey, Jordan, so, and we're going to reenact this a little bit. So actually start to tell me something. Jordan, so did you do anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, man. You know, I just raced cars.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, shotguns
and yeah. Well, so I mean, that sounds really good. And I actually so this weekend I actually went to, and you're like, okay, this person didn't actually care about what I said, but they kind of used that courtesy to open up the conversation so that they could say what they wanted to say. And I feel that with a lot of actors where they're playing the part and it doesn't feel, I don't connect with them. I feel I'm not seeing a real person right now. I'm seeing a fake person, kind of like someone who's acting on camera versus someone who's not good at acting on camera. There's something that feels wrong. You don't see the character. You see someone pretending to be the character, like when you're comparing a good actor to a bad actor.
That's why I think a lot more people are going to podcasts to do stuff like that, because they do get a chance to show a different side to them. Because I don't know, I look at everything from a very industry-based mindset, because that's just how I think about these type of things. And an interview is just like a marketing thing. You know, you have the interview, you make a little Jimmy Fallon clip, and you can share it. So your team is telling you, okay, we need to have a good interview because of this. So you need to do this so this can happen. And that's why I think these big like TV interviews and stuff like that are more scripted and don't seem genuine, because like we know they're not. And so when, you know, like for instance, you know, Kevin Hart goes on the podcast, totally different Kevin Hart. Or when I saw Michael B. Jordan go on this podcast where he drank and smoked weed, and I was like, Michael B. Jordan could never do that. You know, like not in that type of
not with that attitude.
Yeah, well, and so, you know, and so I just think it's just, you know, you give what you give, and
right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to say that too. There's just certain settings and certain people where you can be yourself and you can't.
Yeah.
There's some people that are better at it too. Like I think, again, just watching interviews that I've
some
seen.
people are a lot better.
Yeah. Like Kevin Hart, when he's doing an ad for his movie, he's being himself by advertising the movie. He's like, and look, this movie. All right. I worked, I sweat, I bled. You know, he's himself.
Right.
Yeah, that's him.
He's snapping his fingers, he's clapping, he's moving around, he's loud.
Pineapples!
He's answering The Rock's phone call. He's like, look, I'm in an interview. What are you doing?
I'm looking for a video I'm going to send you guys. I think it's this one. It's 1 minute long, and I'm going to tell the audience what it is.
Okay.
While you guys watch it. But this is an interview that Keanu Reeves did when he was working on the film Speed. I think this is the video. It's not loading because my internet's being garbage. Yeah, here's kind of what it is. So he's basically, if you guys are going to open it up, Keanu Reeves is doing an interview with like a camera talking about Sandra Bullock on the set of the film Speed. And I want to talk about this interview in just a second. So actually, guys, I'm going to put a marker down, and then we're going to resume after you guys watch this, okay? Okay, so I just paused the podcast really quick and everyone watched this video. So in the video, what ends up happening is Keanu Reeves is sitting in front of a camera doing an interview about the film that he did with Sandra Bullock. And he starts talking about her and saying like, well, she's really good. She's a really good actress, and she's got this energy about her, and it's really something, whatever. And then there's this part where Sandra Bullock kind of comes out of nowhere and like hugs him really quick and leaves. That part's a little bit awkward. But
It's not really
that's
quick.
basically what the video is. Now, Shane, what did you think I was going to say about this video?
Well, no, I thought you were gonna talk about his genuineness in the interview. Is that not why we watched it?
Yeah, that's why I watched it. That's what I was going to
Well,
just
yeah,
curious.
because I thought like, well, yeah, he's genuine because he's talking about someone else. He's not talking about himself.
So
That's what I think.
partially. So I've seen so many actors and actresses do the give someone else on credit type thing
Yeah.
because it does benefit them. If I talk someone else up strategically, it will make me look
Yes.
better. It'll make me
Yes.
seem humble. It'll make people want to work with me because I make you look good in front of the cameras.
I.e.
But there's a lot of like,
especially in this day.
but
and
there's a
age.
lot of BS about that too, where it's like they just say it, but they're saying it through their teeth. They maybe don't even
clout.
like the person.
Luke,
Yes.
perfect example. All the actors from Game of Thrones talking about season 8 of Game of Thrones.
They were
Oh,
contracted to say those things.
Exactly. They're like, oh yeah, it's unlike anything. Like it's great.
We all
and
know
it's really
they
great.
hated it.
And you can just tell. But I've seen that with actors where they'll say that about other actors, and it just seems rehearsed. It seems formal. It seems like contractual
And
almost.
it could be.
Yeah.
But well, I'm sure it is. But what I was going to say about this interview, and if anyone wants to pause the podcast and go watch it, just search Keanu Reeves Speed interview, and it's the one where he's just sitting in front of the camera. So, but like he seems like he's just saying it to say
Off the
it.
cuff. Oh.
It doesn't seem like he's rehearsed it. It's not like it doesn't seem like he's saying something he doesn't fully believe or want to say. If that
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You can tell he's
he also
literally
really
forming
liked
the
her at the
thoughts
time.
and putting them to words. Oh, sorry, Shane.
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying he also liked her at the time. So
Oh, he really did. He really did.
Probably, yeah. But like that's the way he seems in most of his interviews. Just
yeah,
like
but it was very genuine.
There was one time when someone asked him, it was Stephen Colbert said, "What happens when we die?" And he just sits there and goes, I think the ones that love us the most will miss us. And you're
Such
like,
a good answer.
you're like, what? And then everyone goes quiet, and it's like, well, that was pretty profound. And then he like handshakes the guy, but it was like it didn't sound like he didn't mean it. Like it sounded like he was like, yeah, no, I mean that's actually what I think.
thought about it. Yeah.
It might have
So-
been rehearsed, but it doesn't sound rehearsed.
So can I throw just a different wrinkle into this really quick?
Please.
How much does this Keanu Reeves comes across as more genuine than others come from the fact that Keanu Reeves stays out of the limelight like 99% of the time?
That's a good point.
He's not
Because-
a made guy in Hollywood, you mean?
Well, yeah, but like it seems to me that when it comes to actors across the board, there are those that have really, really big public images, and then there are those who don't because they choose not to. And it seems like those people are seen as more genuine than those who are in the limelight a lot more. You know what I mean?
I do think that most of the people that tend to be bigger in Hollywood tend to, I don't know. It's like, it seems like it's hard to get big in Hollywood without having a couple tricks or skeletons in your closet, you know?
Well, yeah, but it's like you if you sat down with like the Keanu Reeves interview, or if you've listened to any of Viggo Mortensen's interviews that he gives, like they come across as really genuine people as compared to, and like the people we've already talked about, right? Like Will Smith, who comes across as really, oh, this is his persona, or Kevin Hart or someone like that. And it's just, and I don't like, what role does that play into it is I guess I'm saying. They could be fake and we don't know it because we don't have a lot of other material to compare it to.
Well,
and we're
yeah,
just,
they might just
we're
be
happy
on
to have you around.
Right. They might just be uncomfortable being in an interview setting, and they just act weird because they're uncomfortable. They don't act natural.
Right. Which is Shane's point.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could just know. I wish I could just know.
Dude, just ask them. Slide into
Just
their
tweet 'em.
DMs and be like, hey,
Do you act normal on camera when you're on the late night show?
in this interview, were you being genuine or was this rehearsed? I just
And
need
he's
to
like,
know.
it was rehearsed. I'm not a genuine person at all. Tweet. So I don't know. It's very interesting. A lot of people really like him though right now. There's a lot of press. There's like a lot of articles coming out of people
Yeah,
saying everybody loves Keanu Reeves.
He's
And
the
I was like,
internet's
why?
boyfriend right now.
And what? Who's boyfriend?
He's the internet's boyfriend right now.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
That's what he's been dubbed.
that's fair.
Which is
so
good
yeah.
because right before him, it was Noah Centineo, and he's kind of annoying. So
I have no idea who that is.
good. Well,
I have
not- he's
no
good.
idea. Sorry.
He's like a young actor, but
Wah, wah, wah.
So yeah, Keanu Reeves. Everyone loves him. I can't find a reason not to like him, so I can't be controversial. Imagine if that's how this podcast started. What if I was the only one who hated him?
Beard is disgusting.
Yeah. So speaking of disgusting and things people hate,
yikes.
dear.
smartphones. Just kidding. We all love them and we're all addicted to them. So I was thinking about this and noticing, obviously everyone's on their phone all the time. People walking down the street, people in the elevator, people at work even, people at home, people watching TV are on their phones. Everyone's on their phones.
You lovable people listening to the podcast right now.
You're on your phone right now.
phones.
So stop the podcast. Just kidding.
Go
Don't stop the
outside.
podcast. Let keep going. Shh. Stop.
Go outside and re-click play.
Stay addicted for another 30 minutes until this episode's over.
Use your Bluetooth speakers.
So I was somewhere and I saw a kid that was on their cell phone, like on their smartphone. And the TV was on. It was like a social thing and people were talking. And the kid's eyes did not leave the phone screen for hours. Just sucked, just glued into it.
Just for Luke, just for like purposes, what is the age range of this child?
Oh, 13, 14.
Okay.
Like just, I know it's maybe not so much of a kid compared. I mean, I'm sure there are kids
It's a
younger
kid.
that have just as much of a
It's a kid.
problem.
That's
But I
definitely a
think,
kid.
but that age tends to be like, that's when you're going through adolescence and things are changing and all this stuff
Yeah.
is going on. I feel like that's an interesting time to have a smartphone,
It's the worst time.
But the kid was just glued to the phone, and I just was sitting there thinking, like, giving a kid a smartphone is like giving a kid cigarettes. Because I can't even stay off my phone. Even when I want to, even when I know it's an issue, most people don't even realize it's an issue. And I, even if I want to, it's so addicting. It's so hard not to suck away hours of just nothing on my phone. It's like a drug almost.
I mean, it is, isn't it? Isn't it like when you're on a TV screen or a phone screen, it's a dopamine overload?
Yeah, just flooding your brain, making everything else in the world boring. And I'm not kidding either. It's like literally it's the exact
that's
same
true.
thing as a drug. It makes you sit around. It sucks you into it. You can't control yourself. You just keep cycling through stuff, doing
try to-
nothing.
If you try to go off of it for any length of time, you go through withdrawal.
Everything is boring.
It can
It
be
makes you-
productive.
I mean, yeah.
Completely terrible thing.
Smoking weed, drinking, like whatever, all that can be used in some productive ways. It's like, well, I
Right.
play
Drinking
music better
can
when
be
I'm drunk.
productive.
It's like,
Caffeine.
okay.
That's just
Ooh,
a state
caffeine.
of mind.
Yeah, that's actually the interesting part. It's like caffeine's a brain drug.
Oh, dude, it's a huge drug.
And
Massive
caffeine.
if someone said,
Kids,
Massive.
I preach to
I
my-
need my coffee, I just can't function without my coffee. If I can't have my coffee, I can't think. And it's
not
like
an
if you
addiction.
switched out coffee with anything else, I need my heroin. I can't think without my heroin. I need my heroin every
We
morning.
all have that problem. That is a constant
know?
struggle.
Especially in Iowa.
I preach to
Or
my
not Iowa, in Illinois. Never mind, sorry.
You're not wrong.
I preach to my group of like teenagers yesterday about like how they should never drink coffee or drink caffeine. Like I yelled at them. I was like, never drink coffee a day in your life. All the things that they say, it's a lie. Don't do it. I said, I have never drinking coffee a day in my life, and I've had the most energy ever. It's BS.
Wait, you've never drinking coffee ever?
I had one sip one time when my mom asked me if I wanted to try it, and I spit it out immediately, and then never.
I'm gonna make
again.
you take an espresso shot one day.
I mean, I've had no. I mean, like I think I've had one of those before, and then I sometimes get like the little white chocolate mocha, but I don't just I'm gonna wake up and drink coffee. It's not like I don't choose to drink coffee.
I think tea and
But
coffee
the
is
little
that
mocha stuff is
natural
pretty
thing
good.
you can
Not
get.
gonna lie.
I was thinking tea and coffee is that kind of natural
Yeah,
stimulant where it's just
do
enough to
drink
kind
tea.
of wake you up. Yeah, tea has a ton of caffeine
I
in
drink tea.
it. Well, relatively. Now, I'll agree with you with energy drinks and stuff.
Nice
I
caffeine
personally have a huge addiction. Like,
Oh, really?
I'm not a morning person. It takes
What's
me
your
about 2
go-to
hours.
energy drink?
It's going to be a Monster Rehab orange, or it's going to be anything kind of sugar-free or tea.
The sugar.
Satan's
At least one a
drink,
day.
apparently.
At
Oh,
least?
the 666? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
The Jewish 666?
I don't think that's been disproven.
It's not. It's so like, it's so close.
I don't know. It's like the exact same letter.
Like, why does a B scratch to the right and oh.
Oh, Hebrews. Hail Satan. No, but what I was going to say is that, it'd be like giving a kid cigarettes or giving a kid caffeine. And like, I'm sitting here going, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because if I don't give my kid a cell phone, the kid's going to hate me because all his friends will have cell phones. But if I give him a cell phone, it's like, here, fight with this forever and be miserable as a 14-year-old.
Dude, just give him a flip phone.
Yes,
that he
perfect.
could just,
Or-
that
Then
he could just
every
call
kid
you.
will make fun
Or-
of Dad. I hate you. Why'd you
wait.
give me a flip phone? I hate you, Dad.
Or you should be
Dumb
a good
kid.
parent and have some good parenting skills and just let them hate you. Your child doesn't need a phone.
Then they're going to go
What-
do
you can't-
heroin.
You can't do anything without me. So go ahead and hate me and you'll get over it the next time you need $20 to go to the mall.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm
malls will
totally
be dead
against
by
the
then.
idea
That's
of
true.
kids hating me
Or
at
for
some
Amazon or
point.
whatever you need to do.
I'm not saying that
Starbucks.
I'm not saying the kid can never hate me, because I know all kids will hate their parents at some point probably. I'm just saying
I
that
don't
this
think
is
so.
going to be a tricky one to navigate, because
Yeah.
the kid's going to be like, well, you don't even let me have a cell phone, so I'm going to go get wasted,
Well,
or something,
Let me tell you
Like,
this.
what do you do? I'm
let me
such
tell
a
you, Luke.
wreck. I don't know how I'm
Well,
going to handle it.
At what age would you
Yeah.
want to give them a phone?
I don't know. Never.
Because Luke, let me tell you something. As a
Don't
person,
rot your brain. I'm like smoking cigarettes. Never start
I love
smoking
it.
kids.
as a person who works with kids on a regular basis, I've seen kids at the age of 4 who have cell phones, and not like their parents' phones, like their own
4?
phone with their own number
smartphone.
that works.
A
Oh
smartphone.
yeah, of course. What else is there to choose from? Of
A
course they have
smartphone.
smartphones.
That
Oh
kid's
my God.
brain is gonna be mush.
So my issue with the whole thing is this, right? Kids should not have phones. There's no reason a kid should have a phone, I think, until they start doing stuff away from you and you need to be able to communicate with them. I didn't get my
13,
first phone.
14.
Yeah, I didn't get my first phone until I was in 8th grade. I had to beg for it because I was staying after school a lot, and my argument was I need to be able to communicate, right? So boom, I got the phone. Why does this 5-year-old have an iPad and a cell phone? A better phone than me.
Yes.
And all this
It's not
stuff.
even 5-year-olds. It's children. It's babies.
Yes, babies.
There are
Well-
babies with iPads.
Have you
no,
seen?
my
have you seen
my
the hilarious?
Guys, I don't have an iPad.
No, Luke, my cousin's had an iPad since she was 2. Trust me, I know.
With the little rubber, you're like, that kid doesn't even know he's not supposed to throw the iPad. And he has an iPad.
Have you seen the video of the baby with a picture, an actual physical picture, trying to zoom in on the picture by like swiping it with his fingers because he's
No,
used
but
to
that's,
looking at things on
but
iPad?
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hysterical. This baby is getting
Brainwashed.
His baby is so upset because he can't zoom in on the photo.
Is
He's
it
like, why won't it
brainwashed?
zoom in?
He's like, the picture is frozen.
Gosh.
My
And he's
issue
like
with
pushing
the
on
whole
the
thing-
sign trying to restart it.
Yeah.
This is the guys. This is where we transition out of being the young, cool, hip people to being old. We're like,
Oh, wait.
kids these
Actually,
days
yo.
shouldn't have iPads.
No.
When I was your
Honestly,
age.
I had a flip phone. I
10
got it when
miles
I
in
was
snow.
16.
I had a moment like that yesterday, 2 days ago or yesterday at camp where I felt old for the first time in my entire life. And so do you know what the woe is? Like hit the woe or whatever?
No.
What?
No.
Okay,
No.
well, great. They were all in the same boat. But
And take a shot.
so it's this. The woe is this thing where you have to like someone will like pass it to you, and then you just do this little arm dance move. I would show you, but we're not on video. And then that's kind of it, right? And so one of my campers said, "Oh, Shayne, catch," and they threw something to me, and like the unknowledgeable person that I was at the time, I went to go like actually catch something, and then I said, "Oh wait, is this that whoa thing?" I said, "What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like do it?" So I did a little dance, and then I said, "Do I throw it back? Like, how does this work?" I'm like, I've never been that guy, and I was like, "Wow, I'm really that guy."
I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
I really don't know. I'm Googling it right now. Oh my gosh.
Is
It's
it like
like-
a? It sounds like
Shayne, I
a
hate you.
theater warm up.
It better
It's
not
like
be
a middle
something
school
from
thing.
Fortnite.
It's probably from Fortnite.
It might be.
The
I know
Fortnite with
it's been a meme
the Minecraft and the
it's been a
the
meme for I know the
Roblox.
past maybe half the year. I know that, and I've kind of seen it in different places, but no one's ever done it to me before. So I'm like, oh wait,
What is it? They throw the thing at you and you catch
just
it and you
throw-
dance and
you
throw
just
it?
yeah. So you just throw, you do this little,
What?
you just hit the whoa, and then you can throw it back.
Hit
Or throw it
the
to somebody else.
hit the
Okay, that's kind of cool, actually.
You
Do
hit
it.
the woad. It's like a kid trying to
The
say
whoa,
it.
not the woad.
Dude, dad jokes. Come already. Oh,
I know. I'm
yet.
already becoming a dad. I have a coffee cup that says, what does it say?
No.
Morning may tell dad jokes.
Luke, I literally thought you were about to say I have a son on the way and I'm already a dad. I was about to be like,
I was like,
this podcast subject just changed
Surprise!
real quick.
No,
I've not been
relax.
spending $3,000 in diapers and baby clothes. Do not assume that.
No, not happening. Relax. Okay, calm down. So,
No, Shayne.
so-
no, Shayne. You're talking about feeling old. I asked kids that I was working with. I was like, and they were like teenagers. I was like, hey, do you guys remember where you were on 9/11? And they were like, we weren't born yet.
And they were like,
gosh.
they were like
I've
in
had
the
many moments
in the
like that.
ether.
I was
We
like,
didn't exist.
Oh, yeah. That made me feel really old.
Oh, and I'm older than you are.
That
too.
that happens to me a lot with music. Like I'll be playing songs for like people. I'm like, wait, you weren't even alive when this song was. Like,
Yeah,
came
you're
out.
like,
I'm
I got a
what, you heard the
feeling.
song
Remember
from
that song?
1992?
I got a feeling. Everyone remember that song? I got a feeling, right?
inside
Black
my
Eyed
bones.
Peas, right? And they're like, no, I wasn't
They're
alive.
like, what?
Yeah.
No, not the Who. The what?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, this kid,
Some
One
old
of the-
guy comes in. No, the Who is one of my bands.
That's a classic artist. Go away.
one of the kids in my show said, "Oh yeah, I remember like listening to Sugar by Maroon 5 when I was in elementary school." And I turned to him, I said, "That wasn't in elementary school." And I said, "Oh wait, you're like young."
What are you talking about? That was high school.
So what? Okay,
was
what
like, how
age are
old
you
are you?
guys? What age are you guys going to allow your kids to have cell phones? If you could speculate right now,
I already got
smartphones.
the answer.
What's the
Well-
answer,
So-
Jordan?
It depends on the maturity, level
What?
of responsibility, and what they can show me.
I agree.
That's not an answer. That's like I
That's
have an
totally
answer.
an
I'll
answer.
figure it out when it's then.
No,
No,
13,
that's a
14 is
terrible
when I
answer,
generally
Luke.
think. No, that's a great answer.
No, I'm saying Luke's answer about just
Thank you,
figuring it
Shane.
out when it happens is a terrible answer. You need to be prepared
No,
for these things.
that was what? That was Jordan. That wasn't me.
No, he said it depends on the level of maturity.
And what they can show me. and
Yeah,
the level
but
of
that's like
responsi- No,
saying
I'm going to
that's-
make them prove that they can
hold
handle
on.
it.
That's like saying you're like, well, what would you do in this situation? Well, when I was in that situation, I'd figure it out. Well, that's not fair.
That's not
Can't
the
say
same
that.
thing. I don't think
No,
that's
it's not the same thing at all.
That's exactly the same thing as
No,
what I
I
just
don't
said.
think so.
That's the
Because
same
he would have
exact thing.
He would have
When
just
they
said,
start asking
"Oh,
for the
figure it
phone,
out."
you
He
go,
has
all
a
right,
reason.
prove it.
How about this? No cell phone ever. They can send
not
letters.
Dude, we're not going to have cell phones. We'll have implants or VR related.
That's right.
We're not going to have cell
Microchipped.
phones.
I
Oh
feel
yeah, they'll
like
have it in their eye. They
very
just,
soon it's
they
gonna be
just
like,
roll their eyes and they're swiping.
Dude, can you imagine a
Oh
heads
my
up display in
goodness.
your eyes? You just kind of do some hand gestures and like VR augmented reality starts popping
And
up.
they're all
going
going
to
to be wearing
calls.
Iron Man suits.
I have no problem with this future.
I do. That's scary.
You old man.
Josh, what about you? You're married. Any day now.
Yeah, I'm thinking between 8th grade and sophomore, junior year,
Realistically,
somewhere in
yes.
that range.
But that's right when they start going insane.
But that's when they start having activities.
And that's when you give them a phone?
Okay, that's okay. They start going insane,
pager,
but
then.
if they do something insane and need your help,
Okay.
they need to be able to contact you.
Well, but
Okay, we
Smoke
also have to
signals or
remember
something.
Okay,
Luke.
phones
I'm just
with
kidding.
restrictions.
But I mean, you
can
don't
we
have
all
to give
agree
them
on
a
this?
smartphone for that.
That's the only thing that'll exist.
that's fine. I will happily give my child a flip phone.
Can we please talk
to
about...
say
What?
No, I was going to
what?
say, can we please talk about how every kid is completely different and their raised completely different, so they're not all going to go crazy, Luke, when they hit that age? Like my
But
kids
then when you have
will not be
3
going
kids,
crazy.
and you have one that goes
having
insane,
3
and the
kids?
other's fine.
Yeah, who's
Did you say
having
who's
that many
having
kids?
3 kids? A lot of
world's
people
gonna end
have
in
3 kids.
2022.
No one here is having
That's-
3 kids, so...
that's why you combine my answer with Jordan's and you say here's the time area when they between 8th grade and junior year, in that time frame they're going to have to prove if they're mature enough and can
Yep.
handle having a phone.
Yeah, it's simple. There's no specific age.
That's right. It's simple. This is a dumb podcast. I don't
okay,
know.
we're all in the same
I
boat,
think
man.
you guys have like higher expectations for how good your kids will be.
Well,
We're
gonna
gonna
think
raise
I-
them
what?
to
I'm
be...
gonna do what I can.
We're
Do you
gonna
want
raise
are
them
you
that
expecting
way.
them to be
Hold
heroin
on.
addicts?
Hold on. I'm gonna
Luke,
do
what
what
are
I
you going to let your
Aggressive.
daughters date?
Stop.
Honestly.
What are you going to let your daughters date?
Nothing. They're
Luke's
gonna
gonna
stay
have-
home. They're gonna stay
Congrats.
children. So listen. Hold on. I think I'm gonna do the best. Stop talking. I'm gonna do the best that I can do to raise my kids the best that I can. I just know
That's not an answer.
kids are people. What do you mean that's not an answer?
Kids are a product of how they're raised by their parents.
Yeah, sometimes, but sometimes kids just go
Luke,
nuts
all
too.
the time.
What?
100% of the time. I am telling you, as a
It's
child
not.
care
No, it's
provider.
not 100% of the time.
Yes,
Don't.
it
Yeah, because if the
is.
kids are held
What?
in or if the kids are kept at home all the time, what are they going to want to do? They're going to want to break out. And some of them are going to do that. And that's when they quote unquote go crazy as a result of how
It
they were raised.
starts at-
you
it
don't
starts
want
at
to.
home.
You don't want to
Everything starts at
underparent
home.
and you don't want to overparent. I get it.
Yes.
You don't want to like keep your kids from doing anything,
It's
and then they
better to
flip out when you let them go. But you don't want to let
God.
kids do whatever they want because then they'll just go insane because there's no rules.
Again, responsibility and trust, right? All right, you want to do
Yes.
this thing, then we let
So
you
do
give
you
you a little bit of rope.
expect that you'll do it perfectly?
No, I expect
Neither
all
do
the
I.
kids to.
Perfect.
No, whoa, whoa,
Neither
no,
do
no, no.
I. So it's like I might do things wrong, and the kids are going to do certain things. Like I'm just trying to be prepared for that. And giving them a cell phone too early might be something that's wrong.
That's why
That's
we
fine.
said responsibility in between
This
this
depends
time
on your
period.
kid. Is your kid getting straight A's or is your kid failing?
He's so frustrated.
I don't know. I just don't know. It's such an unknown
Let me help you out, Luke.
area of my life.
You're
Excuse
overthinking
me?
Let me
this.
help you out, Luke.
You'll help me.
Yeah, let me help.
you
This is
smack
what you're
ball.
gonna do, right? When little Luke wants to start, he wants to, try out for the soccer team or like the football team, and he starts staying
coding
after
corps.
school or whatever, and you're that overly concerned parent that's like, well, I don't know if
him.
Luke's gonna make it home safe tonight. That's when you can give him a cell
that's
phone.
not what I said.
That's
No,
totally
hold
him.
on. No,
totally
that's
him.
not what I said I was going to do. I'm going to be like,
I
yeah,
didn't say
see that
that's
kid
what
over
you were
there?
gonna do.
Look, I'm going to like take the kid and be like, see that punk kid over there? Go kick his ass. Go for it. Goodbye. It's like,
But is he
I
gonna
don't
kick
care.
his ass with a
Listen,
cell phone?
stop. But I'm not going to say, here, take this cell phone and psych your brain out when you're like still growing. It's like there's difference between, oh no,
Okay,
he might
but Luke-
he
Hold
might
on.
hurt himself
Whoa,
playing
whoa,
soccer.
whoa, I got-
Hold
Mike,
on. So
I'm gonna
you're
let them
gonna-
like wrestle in the backyard.
Luke
I'm
is just
gonna
gonna
be like
give
my
him-
parents. But I'm not gonna let them do things that are gonna fry their brain before they're ready to deal with that
We never
level of
said that.
addiction.
Luke, you don't just
I
give
know
your
you.
kid
I
cell
didn't say
phones.
you said that. But I also am not saying. Hold on. But I also am not the type of parent that's gonna be like,
You're not
well,
a
if I let
parent.
him play soccer, he might hurt himself. Right? Makes sense.
So, but
No,
so
yes.
because
instead
you're not a
gonna
parent.
What?
Like
It doesn't make any sense because you're not a parent.
What is that
You
supposed
said
to even mean?
you said this is how I am as a parent. You're not a parent, so you don't
This
know
is how
you
I
are
will be as a
parent.
parent.
That's what you think.
Okay. What did I say at the beginning that I'm not sure? on one hand, I'm like, I'm not sure. And then you're like, well, Luke, you're going to be freaked out and be a horrible parent. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. And you're like, that's right.
No,
you
we're pretty
don't know. I'm
positive.
like, that's what I'm saying.
But you're also the person who's going to dump his child off and say, hey, you, go kick that kid's ass. I'm going to go over here.
If we're
But your
playing
child-
soccer,
But
if
your
they're playing
child doesn't have
soccer,
a
it's
cell
like,
phone to
get
call
him.
you if he gets his butt kicked.
Sorry, that's gonna spike. I apologize.
Oh, man.
No, dude, he's gonna pull out that phone like it's a switchblade. He's gonna charge the kid.
Tell you what.
Bam, bam,
Tell you
bam,
what.
bam.
Listen, he's not going to need a cell phone because he's going to win. The other kid better have a cell phone, though.
But how is he
there's
going to
more than one.
Snapchat about winning?
He's going to sign off for them.
I mean, that TikTok app,
Did
man. I'm telling you, he's
anybody
gonna
win
record
if
a
there was no
60-second video.
Snapchat story
No.
showing
Oh
My
that they
God,
won?
no.
Exactly. If
If the video doesn't go viral, it doesn't count.
If he does the Fortnite dance after beating up the other kid.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only way.
I'm
it
saying
matters.
if they're going to play soccer, I'm going to be like, yeah, go play, go win. Go play hard. It's just like there's a difference between letting your kids play rough and do things that are dangerous and rough and tumble play and saying, here's a cell phone that you're going to be addicted to and it's going to ruin everything outside for you because you're so addicted to the dopamine.
But what if they get
addiction.
addicted to
Luke.
their
Okay.
dopamine addiction from the wrestling and all the roughhousing and become a Joe Rogan character? Next thing you know,
No.
they're addicted to karate and
Enough about
jiu-jitsu
the
for like
wrestling.
decades.
Enough
Okay,
about the
I do-
wrestling.
Amazing.
Okay, I do have to defend Luke here. That is exactly how he was raised, though. Like
Yes.
making. My first ever interaction with this guy was going downstairs and seeing their wood shop where they made wooden swords, and then 2 hours later, my sister had like 3 stitches above her eye because one of your siblings cracked her in the face with one of these swords. Like that
you're
was my
still
first
friends?
interaction with this guy.
Right?
I would have
It was
never forgave
awesome.
him
But
or his
also,
family.
look how I turned out.
Yeah, that's what we're worried about. That's what we're worried about.
Don't you want more people like me?
No, we don't. So,
You're enough.
Luke, you don't just give the kid the phone and let them do whatever. You're making the same mistake that 98% of parents do. You have to teach
No,
them
I'm
responsibility with the phone, give them
What?
guidelines, restrictions, and time limits.
And then also prepare them for the phone and teach them how the world works with cell
Yes,
phones.
teach
and
them
then go,
how
look,
social media works, teach them how apps and things work,
Yep.
teach them how in-app purchases work, teach them not to use your credit card to buy things.
don't put your credit card on the phone. It's simple, people. God, figure
Which is
Simple.
which is
Child
going to be
locks
the
are a thing.
which is going to be
Filters.
the huge advantage that we will have for our kids is that our parents didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a huge
sure.
advantage that we have is that we will have grown up in a
know all the
technological
tricks.
age where most of
Until
it
they
anyway.
release
Yeah.
the microchips.
Okay, but then we'll be dead.
Oh,
by
then I'll be
then.
the first in line, and then I'll teach them how to use the microchip implanted in the back of their brain.
Ship me.
See?
Put this chip in my
me.
brain so I can teach my children
It's a
not to
portable
do it.
implant. Do it.
Oh, by the way, what's the serial number on the back of that? Oh, just
666 in Hebrew, huh? Okay.
It's just the monster symbol.
Did the Koch brothers own this?
Monster sponsors it. Like, oh, it's just a chip. It's just a chip. It's got the monster symbol on the back.
My
It's
left
fine.
hand or forehead, huh?
I think my favorite thing ever is seeing all these commercials for AI. Like,
Ooh, yeah.
look at what AI can do. And I'm like, there is literally a gigantic demographic of people in this country who know how bad of idea this is because of all the simulated realities when
Yeah.
AI come into being. I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah, we're talking
not
about
seen
Keanu
Terminator.
Reeves. Yeah, it's like, see the Matrix. Do you want to be a battery? No, none of us do.
I'm a poor source of electricity. Oh, gosh.
Well, I'm going to just come to you guys for advice when I have a kid.
So we know Luke's going to be
I
a
will
real helicopter
have-
parent.
The best parenting advice
say a helicopter
for
parent?
anyone.
Oh, you were going to be a helicopter parent.
How did this
Great.
happen? How did this happen?
Because you're
I don't know how this
Samsung
conversation
Apple.
became this. It's
Because you're freaking out
I think
about
a
us trying
second
to be
ago,
responsible.
I think a second ago, Shayne said, "Luke, this is why you don't give them a cell phone." I'm like, how did I end up on this side of the fence? Like, I
Because
was
you
the one
criticize-
saying no.
because you criticized Jordan for giving a responsible answer by saying that's
Yes,
no
you
answer
did.
at all.
Because it wasn't an
See,
answer.
Are you
It
kidding?
was an answer.
I gave more of an
I'm
answer
driving
than
down there. I'm driving down there. We're going. It's happened. We're drinking
I'll
beer
fight
and then
you.
smashing it over. Let's
I'll
do it.
fight you. You bring the cigars and I'll smoke them and fight you. But so the thing I'm saying,
Yes.
what I'm saying is that
And I'll sit on the sideline.
I'll do it. When I say, what would you do in that scenario? And you say, I guess I'll figure it out in that scenario.
I said
That's not-
I would give them a chance, let them be responsible. If they're not responsible, they don't get it because it's
That's
a
an
time frame.
answer.
You
All right,
can't-
fine. Okay, it's a
can't
little
be
answer
all right,
you
fine,
want.
18
fine,
there.
fine. It's a little different. Fine. But I don't like
Oh
that
my
as an
God.
answer.
You can't. It's so variable, dude.
still
It's
an
like you
answer.
can't. Like,
Okay,
what are you
don't
gonna
make
do
me-
in this third
don't
move on this
make-
third round?
Hey, don't make me feel bad by admitting that you're right a little bit, or I'll never do it
Thank
again.
you for admitting I'm right. I appreciate it.
I'll never do it again.
Never do it again.
Now
so-
we're all in the same boat.
Yeah,
Tonight, and we're all in the same
yeah.
boat podcast.
that's
Luke
right.
admits he's
Welcome to
wrong.
the podcast.
Parents do better.
All right,
all I have
guys,
to
let's
say.
wrap up this episode.
Do better.
I will say that to my grave until I stop working with kids. Parents
Be
do better.
You all suck.
Get good, parents.
Can I just say
All
one
right.
thing on the topic real quick before we end? Super
Yes.
simple.
Yes.
So in my circle, I have a lot of people having kids just due to the age range. And I was talking to them about this because their daughter is maybe 1.5 on an iPad while they're at church or certain events where they just can't always keep an eye on her. And they said,
Shame.
we never wanted to do this. We fought it for such a long time.
Oh, please.
But it's gotten to the point where we can't do certain things without her being watched, and we can't always find somebody to watch her for a few minutes or an hour or two. And so I can have her over there and know she's safe and everyone's keeping an eye on her, but she's doing something and not hurting herself or X, Y, and Z. And we try to keep her off as much as possible, but sometimes you just do what you got to do. I'm like, man, that's a tough position to be in when you're an active parent.
You know what my response to that is? If you don't have the time, don't have kids. End the podcast, Luke.
Okay, you got my audio.
The end. that's the end. Although the thing is, it's like all the people that are having kids
I'm
probably
just
shouldn't
making
be.
a joke.
You know what I mean? It's like people that are thinking about this are the people that are supposed to be having kids.
Right. So
Yeah.
I obviously cut out. You got my audio of it, so.
Yeah. All right,
Mark
let's wrap up this episode, starting with. I almost said starting with. What in the world is the end?
This is the end.
And it doesn't
Of you and
even
me.
matter. Shane, plugs.
Yes. So my plugs, you can follow my Instagram and my Twitter at Mr. McCatty, MRMCCATTY, and keep up with all the things I'm doing there. My musical just started this week, so whoop whoop, that's exciting.
Ooh.
And that's been going pretty well. It's just, it feels weird that we're like actually here now. I feel like I've talked about it so much and worked on it so much. I'm like, wait, we're performing for people now? That's kind of weird. And so our first full performance is tomorrow night. And I will be getting that recorded. So I'll be posting that on my YouTube channel, which is just Shayne McCatty, which you can be able to see that later. And also too, I started because I know a lot of people who like care about what I do don't have an Instagram. So I made like a Facebook page that's connected to my Instagram. So if you don't have Instagram, you can still see all the things that I'm doing and whatnot on my Facebook page, which is also Mr. McCatty, MRMCCATTY. Yeah, lots of cool, fun videos and podcasts coming back and things this summer. So just Instagram for updates.
Congratulations, man.
Yes, thank you. Also, too, my Instagram, I went to Vegas. I'll be I have a lot of Vegas pictures, and I want to edit them and make sure they look all really nice. So those will be coming soon. But you can watch my Lady Gaga concert experience on my Instagram highlights, and that was like a really cool night. So watch that. Now I'm done.
Woo. Okay, Jordan.
You can catch me at Jordy Locks on Instagram. Basically, it's cigars and fishing and random things that I do, shooting and just general fun stuff like that. I also have a multi-personality streaming page. So it's me and a few other guys on Facebook, gaming, everything from Apex to some fun games like Subnautica, just fun and relaxing stuff. So there's something for everybody, different personalities, and then we also do team streams together. So it's one of the few pages that actually have multiple people under the same banner doing something. So there's content for everyone, personalities for everyone, and you can get more of me. And who doesn't want more of me? I mean, honestly. Check us out at Rally Point Gaming.
More Jordan.
Less
All
Luke,
right.
more Jordan. I think this is a great idea.
Josh.
I have no plugs.
All right. Why don't you just tell everyone to go follow Jordan?
Yeah.
Hey, go follow Jordan. Go follow Shayne. Go. Please subscribe to this podcast. Luke puts a lot of
Please.
effort into it. It's an amazing
Does a great
podcast.
job,
I'm just blessed to be on.
Much.
I think we're gonna say go follow Jordan, go follow Shayne. We're good.
Guys,
Yeah, so follow the podcast. WAITSB podcast on Instagram. You can also follow me on Instagram at LUKEROCKSWOLD. Luke Roxwell. Guys, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this argument. What do you think? Should kids have cell phones, and at what age should they have cell phones? Let us know on our Instagram by messaging us or commenting on our pictures or voting in our polls. But like I said, if you want to do that, you have to follow us, WAITSB podcast. What do you guys think? Thanks for listening, everybody. And outro music.